sa PACC, no? Kung amo tong naka-hinumdum pa ni si attorney, nagka-meet mi ani sa una sa Davao, sa naapa ko sa GMA Super Radio. Nasa atong linya karon via Viber si attorney Manuelito Luna. Attorney, mayong buntag.
Yung buntag, Kabayan,
Yes.
Arnel Cortez,
Yes.
parehas pa sa una sa GMA Super Radio.
Oo. Oo. Murag nagka-meet man ta attorney no sa Pinnacle Hotel ba to, nagka-istorya ta sa una, tama ba?
Naka-istorya na Tanel. And I'm very happy that you are interviewing me this morning on a very important matter. So maayong aga, maayong buntag sa atong mga kaigsuonan and all our friends in not only in Mindanao but all over the country. I'm from Mindanao pala, Katropa Arnel. So malapit talaga ang puso ko sa ating mga kababayan. I'm always anchored sa mga nangyayari sa Mindanao.
Okay. Attorney, no, maraming salamat sa time na binigyan niyo dito sa XFM Tagum City. Dinig tayo sa Davao del Norte hanggang Davao City and then Davao de Oro. Attorney, kahapon o gahapon if wa ko masayop na aka no sa pag-file sa supposed to be the third impeachment complaint against the president o PBBM. Anong nangyari kahapon, attorney?
Well, we were there at around 2 plus in the afternoon. Kasama namin yung buong team ng impeachment, lahat ng complainants. Andon din ang dating Secretary John Esperon, dating Gobernador Chavit Singson kasama namin, and other members of the team. So kompleto kami with the complaint and the annexes, and even the endorser was ready. No, hindi lang namin nilabas kung sinong endorser, no. Pero when we were there, when we arrived at the office, nagtaka kami bakit wala doon yung Secretary General. And the deputy, mabait naman yung deputy So, in-explain niya na wala daw siyang instructions. Walang naiwang instructions sa kanya ng SecGen niya. At hindi rin siya designated as acting or OIC. Kaya sabi ko, paano ito ngayon? If nobody will receive this, we will consider this as legally received. So, nag-tender nga kami doon ng aming complaint. Nilatag namin sa table and we argued in a nice way yung point namin na this is a constitutional duty on our part to file as citizens kasi ito ay people's complaint.
Yes, sir.
Of impeachment against the President of the Philippines. At constitutional duty and responsibility ng SecGen ng House of Representatives na tanggapin ito. Kung wala siya dito, dapat merong tumanggap. Otherwise, legally and constitutionally, our complaint will be considered filed. So, sabi niya, sir, pasensya talaga kasi wala akong instructions. Hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin dyan. Sabi ko, personally, hindi mo problema yan. Sabi ko sa deputy, sabi namin sa deputy. But the Secretary General is accountable. And meron kaming ilang araw, although walang office ang SecGen Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we still have up to Monday to file. Ang sabi ko, malaking usapin ito. The nation will not accept this. Kasi ang ating SecGen, sabi ko, siya yung inatasan ng Constitution
Yes,
at ng rules ng House of Representatives para tanggapin lahat ng complaints regardless kanino galing. Hindi pwede yung selective lang na tinanggap niya yung una, tapos ngayon parang pinahirapan kami at yung number 2 na impeachers, no? Hindi rin tinanggap yung kanila kasi wala rin ng SecGen. So, sabi ko, I don't want to think na ito ay tiniming yung absence niya para hindi tanggapin lahat ng complaints na maaaring i-file sa House of Representatives. Because if that happens, then ang pananagutan niya is personal and under the civil service law. Mananagot siya for grave misconduct. Mabigat ito. So, sabi ko, I don't try to think that way, pero dapat i-explain niya sa ating buong bansa ang kanyang ginawa. Dahil bakit hindi siya nag-designate ng kanyang OIC or acting deputy, acting official in the person of the deputy to take over. Kasi yan ang requirement because especially itong situation niya, she went out of the country Hindi lang naman siya pumunta ng ibang probinsya or city She's out of the country for several days. So, dapat merong siyang maiwang OIC na mag-perform ng kanyang trabaho. Lalong-lalo na ngayon na alam naman nila na merong naghahabol na magpa-file ng impeachment. So,
Okay.
yun ang aming frustration kahapon, Kuya Arnel. So, yan po ang totoo. Kana ang sitwasyon kahapon sa House of Representatives, Office of the Secretary General.
Okay. Attorney, ato lang i-clarify no. Enlighten us. Unsa man gyud dapat ang mudawat? Is it the person Chiloy Garrafel, the Secretary General or the Office of the Secretary General?
Well, actually parang merge na yan into one
Okay.
Yung personality ng SecGen sa kayong office. Kaya nga ang sabi namin, kung wala siya, so if the person is not here, the office can receive. And this next in line doon ay ang deputy, nandun naman. Tinanggap naman kami ng deputy. So, sabi ko, siya ang dapat mag-perform ng trabahong ito. Ayaw naman niya, kasi sabi niya, ayaw ko naman masapawan yung aking boss. Wala din siyang iniwan instructions. Pero sa totoo lang, Nel, kahit walang instructions, pwede siya Kasi constitutional duty nga ito. At ang opisina at ang person merge into one. So, kung wala ang person, ang office can receive through the deputy. Oo, so yun ang dapat ginawa niya. Hindi yon violation ng civil service law. It is in fact in compliance with the Constitution. Oo. Pero hindi naman namin mapuwersahan siya. We just tendered the complaint. Sabi namin, we will consider this as filed because we are tendering. Nagmanifest si Atty. Topacio, nagmanifest ako, nagmanifest si Atty. Garcia, and even former Congressman Mike Defensor, nagmanifest din na we will consider this as filed. In fact, yun din ang sinabi namin sa aming press conference after nanggaling kami sa Office of the SecGen.
Okay. So from your end, yung at ng mga kasama ni na Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, it is considered as filed. Pero
Yes.
natanggap ba talaga ito ng SecGen, sir?
Well, physically wala, but legally yes. Kasi dalawang aspeto yan physical and legal. Well, from the physical, siyempre wala kasi wala siya doon. But legally or constitutionally, it is deemed received. Ganon yan.
Okay.
In the constitutional sense, it is deemed received.
Sir, may nauna na file. Tinanggap nila itong first first complaint. And then the second one was filed supposed to be filed by the Makabayan Block at hindi rin tinanggap kahapon. And then yung sa inyo naman pangatlo is hindi rin tinanggap kahapon. Sir,
hindi rin tinanggap dahil for the same reason wala yung SEC.
Wala yung SEC. Hindi naman nila sinabi na may nauna na.
Inamin naman doon kasi siyempre sinabi namin bakit yung una hindi nyo pinahirapan ito parang sinadya ninyo. Sabi naman ng deputy, nag-deny naman siya na hindi daw. And besides, sabi niya, I cannot answer it kasi ang SecGen dapat mag-answer niyan. Kaya nga, they are calling on the SecGen, kahit nasa abroad siya, to issue a statement explaining her side. Kasi iba ang tingin dito ng Pilipino ng mga Pilipino. Kami at ng bansang Pilipinas na parang sinadya ito. I don't want really to think of that.
Yes.
Pero in the absence of an explanation, hanggang ngayon, wala siyang nilalabas na statement, baka mag-isip kami na sinadya ito. And if this happens, and by Monday, wala pa rin siya, malaking usapin yan. At dapat ang speaker na mismo ang mag-receive. Kasi under the law also, kung wala ang SecGen, ang speaker can take over. Kung ayaw gawin ng SecGen ang kanyang trabaho, the speaker can probably designate the deputy to do the receiving under his supervision. Better still, nandun siya para siguraduhin na walang mangyayaring kabulustugan. And I respect the Office of the Speaker kasi ang opisinang yan ang pinakamataas sa House of Representatives. And I don't think Speaker D, the third, will sanction or will tolerate itong ginawa ni Secretary Garapil. Kasi ang pananagutan na ito, ng House will be sa buong bansa eh.
Mm-mm.
Hindi to biro-biro. This is not just a non-peasance or mispeasance on the part of the SecGen, but this will implicate the entire House eh. Kaya dapat mag-take over ang speaker dito sa usapin na ito, and probably siya na mismo. Kasi under naman sa kanya yan, yung deputy at saka yung office of the SecGen, siya na mismo mag-designate na tanggapin nyo, gawin nyo yung ginawa ang duty ng SecGen in her absence. Kasi ito, malaking bagay ito. This is a people's complaint on our part for impeachment of the president. Hindi po to basta-basta lamang, and we are really frustrated yesterday. Yan ang totoo. Masakit ang loob namin.
So, dapat talaga mag-explain dito si SecGen Cheloy Garapel para hindi maging Garapal yung apelido niya. Para hindi, baka maiba, hindi na Garapel, Garapal na. Anyway, for the sake of this discussion, attorney, considering tanggapin, may lusot ba tayo, considering na nauna na yung isa, yung first impeachment, at may mga rumors na ito ay scripted or whatever. Hindi ba tayo maapektuhan sa baka gamitin din nila yung ginamit yung rule ng Supreme Court na unconstitutional yung kay BP Sara dahil dapat isa lang at marami ang nag-file. Hindi ba tayo maapektuhan dito? Kindly educate us, attorney.
Well, na-explain na mabuti yan sa kaso ng Duterte versus House, no, yung kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Na wala nang, and even previous cases on impeachment cases, wala na yung first to file rule.
Okay.
Wala nang hapulan, short. So kahit merong nauna, it doesn't mean na hindi pwedeng mag-file ng second, third. So i-entertain nila dapat yan by Monday sa opening nila. Hindi pwedeng aksyonan nila yung una lang and then hindi nila aksyonan yung dalawa at sa pangatlo kung sakaling mag-file kami sa morning. Kailangan aksyonan niya ng Office of the Speaker and ilagay nila sa order of business on Monday. Otherwise, they will commit a constitutional violation, yung entire House. And that's very clear sa decision ng Sara Duterte versus House of Representatives na hindi pwedeng yung paunahan. Yung kung sino nauna, yun na. Hindi ka doon.
Okay.
That's a pambababo yan sa sistema.
Okay.
Mali yan.
So, nabasa natin itong first na complaint. Marami din siyang mga nilagay doon, no, culpable violation against the Constitution. Now, punta tayo dito sa substance ng third impeachment complaint, attorney. No, mga points lang. Ano ang laman nitong ating third impeachment complaint, attorney?
Well, hindi namin pwedeng sabihin muna because mamaya meron kaming press con.
Opo.
Lunchtime sa Quezon City where i-bear out namin, sasabihin namin talaga in full detail yung aming grounds from 1 to 10. 10
grounds.
10 grounds. So, hindi muna para clear sa lahat ng media and the public. Mamaya namin sabihin. However, sa press con namin kahapon, sinabi namin, yung team namin, sinabi namin na ang mga violations include betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution, graft and corruption, and other high crimes. So, yun po, apat na grupo ng violations. Mamaya, sasabihin namin kung ano yung mga specific violations that are considered impeachable offenses under the Constitution.
Okay. Last na lang, ito, attorney. If ever hindi tanggapin, if ever lang, hindi tanggapin ng House or the Secretary General, ano ang next na action na gagawin ng grupo? Well,
that is very clear na violation ng Constitution. And we will consider as filed yung lahat ng complaints na humabol, like the second and the third. So, kung hindi pa rin kami papakinggan ng Committee on Justice in the House, baka ma-force kami to go up on certiorari with the Supreme Court at harangin sila sa kanilang ginagawa. We can always ask for a preliminary injunction or a temporary restraining order. Kasi dapat alam na nila ito dahil nasupla na sila doon sa kaso ng ating butihing Vice President wherein dineklarang void ang impeachment complaint ng House of Representatives. Dapat matuto na sila at respetuhin yung proseso at sundin ang isinasaad sa Constitution.
All right. So lastly, attorney, ang mensahe niyo po sa ating mga kababayan, Mindanaoans, no? Taga Davao Region ngayong umaga, sir. Go ahead.
Well, maraming salamat Arnel Cortez sa iyong interview sa akin. I come from Mindanao. I was born in Basilan, and I'm always ready to serve our people, especially our people in Mindanao, the land of promise, and of course the entire nation. Tulungan niyo po kami dito. This is a people's impeachment complaint against the incumbent President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. for alleged culpable violation of the Constitution, betrayal of public trust, graft and corruption, and other high crimes. Maraming salamat, daghang salamat sa inyong tanan. And to you, Kuya Arnel Cortez, katropa, daghang salamat.
Alright, with that note, salamat kaayo, Attorney Manuelito Luna, sir. Thank you, sir, ug maayong buntag.
Maayong buntag.
Yes, sir. Good morning! Right, inyo na bati mga katropa, si Attorney Manuelito Luna, no, ang kanhing PACC Commissioner. Kaning nakalimot lang yun ko mga, muna akong problema kadong. Kanang mga dugay na nato bitong nakaila, nakauban sa una, unya, magsiguro, asa gay mi nagka